Alrighty. So I think we're gonna do this a little bit differently, because we always do a recap. Um, does anyone have anything specific that they want to talk about? Which I guess this is still technically a recap, but like, you guys did a lot of traveling last time, and you guys are all kind of here. Uh, I know last time we spoke about like needing some money and doing some odd jobs, but we also had like forgot his name. All I know of him as is Kobe or Cody.
I believe we were
Oh,
going to
tiptoe.
I believe we were
Tiptoe,
going to
yeah.
do a little dwarf swap.
That is, yeah, that was talked about. Um,
It was talked about more than I was expecting it to be, which I was very happy with.
it's true.
Because it was almost seemingly considered.
Yeah, because I was thinking of it as like, what on earth is he talking about? And it hit me, and I was like, there's no way he's actually talking about what I think he's talking about. Uh, but yeah, yeah, we talked about dwarf, which it's gnomes, gnome swap.
That's fine. Short people, midgets.
Short. Wow. Okay.
Oh,
It's fine. We have one in call. I'm allowed to use the word.
Maladin and Brimson. This segregation stuff sucks.
no.
Maladin and Skelvogran.
Listen, I
Okay.
haven't been allowed to eat enough of the animals walking around. Something needs to change.
Fair enough. Yeah, okay, so that one's good. Last time we left off, you guys were actually talking to Tiptoe about what was going on, and he had a horrific voice. May or may not change. Um, I kind of got a little bit of a look into his air quote new life, where he has moved back in with his parents and seems to be practicing his artificer work, but having some difficulties learning exactly what they're wanting him to do. Uh, Not a whole lot of information has been given on that from him, but then again, there is time. But I think we finally kind of ended off with the grand question of will you return? And that's where we kind of had to call
Yes.
it off because we had some a time delay, but also we needed to kind of think on that. In which I think Carba, you gave me a couple of ideas. I think for what you were intending to talk about or something.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, you gave me the game plan.
Mhm.
So we can start there, or if there's anything else you guys would want to talk to him about. Kind of picking up where we were, he is kind of not dumbfounded necessarily, but just kind of trying to process the decision ahead of him as you guys are gathering food in the middle of Skevel Grain. How are we continuing? Are you guys just like awkwardly getting a table and eating as everyone kind of remains
Yeah,
silent for
lose
a bit?
lose chowing down. He asked him this like big life changing question, and like continued to eat like a pound of beef.
Yeah, sounds good. I think I gave you like a cost for that. It wasn't a mass amount.
No, I can't wait till we get the
Yeah.
bill, and then Lou has to be like, "All right, guys, I'm gonna go do dishes now."
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think we already paid for it.
Did we?
Okay. Yeah. I know I referenced a cost last time. Assumed it was vote. So it's kind of like, yeah, that's doable. So I kind of
Yeah.
left it there.
Yeah.
Uh, Sounds good. So I think the total of what, 8 of you are currently sitting at a table. 7 of you who have been traveling together for quite some time, and then the eighth being a very quiet gnome, kind of staring out this variety of food that he has kind of picked from each individual food stand, and is just kind of sitting there, has a utensil in one hand, and seems to be propping up his head and chin, kind of scratching at a little bit of a food he has, and picking at his food. Um, is there any other conversation going on?
Maladin's gonna give a resounding no to the voice in the sky.
Okay.
Well, Tiptoe, gulp,
Gulp.
gulp, munch. You don't have to decide right now. We can give you a few days. We'll be probably in town for looks at the rest of them. I don't know, but we'll find you.
Well, it is a lot to take in. Um, you disappear for several months, and we all scattered and went along our way.
Sorry, that was my phone.
Yeah.
Let me respond to this text real quick. Maladin says that in character.
Yeah.
Oh yes, of course. Sorry guys, I have more official business than this awkward phone call.
This is a meeting phone call. Sorry, I'll be right back.
So yeah, he speaks up and kind of gives you almost like a "where are they now," but from his perspective of each individual person. Of course, he kind of starts from the beginning, and goes down the list that you were given by Ronan one at a time. Mentions how Elber Morden happily started his life and eventually gathered enough money to leave the desecrated acres and head towards Travel. Neem Marson eventually got bored sitting around and decided that he would go and find wherever Ronan was. And Ronan kind of scoffs and shakes his head at this information. You do remember a little bit of tension between the two of them, although you're not 100% in on it. And I will say, Ronan did not necessarily give a reason either. Emergen Nissi, he eventually decided that the lessons you taught him throughout his very short life up to that moment would be perhaps useful elsewhere, and can be assumed to be anywhere there's a small town and maybe bigger that needs his aid. He's worried that maybe he joined a militia thinking that it was the right side at the moment. Of course, you're talking to Tiptoe, so he doesn't say anything about Tiptoe. He mentions, though, that on his journey, him and Rygoch actually headed in the same direction until about where the trees begin. And that Rygoch made sure that he was safe as he is tinier and, Gruffed had kind of disappeared, which you found out is kind of because he went to prison or something along those lines. But eventually was called into a different direction for any reason. Hidrig, he doesn't quite know. He mentions something about more business opportunities elsewhere. And then Craig Camber went back to his home in southern Weathermount. So, just a recap. But with
How many times do you think we missed him while we were in and out of Southern Weathermount?
We
I
actually,
don't know. You never, you can't help but get the feeling that maybe like asked by someone, thought they were being over at another.
I love the
And,
amount of
you know,
Well,
cutting
he
out right
said
now.
something.
He
It
he
has-
said
it hasn't said
parts of
everybody.
words.
Parts of
Oh
words.
my
It,
god! Did it cut out?
it was so
Yes.
much cutting out, like concentrate. You got through the entire spiel earlier, and it was so like clean, and then this was like all of it was waiting.
Lovely.
Lou, can you give me a physical description again, real quick,
Of
of the guy we were
Craig?
looking for? Yeah. Lou,
No.
do you remember what he looked
Yep.
like? I mean, I know you're the one I shouldn't be asking.
Mhm.
Ronan, do you know what he
Oh,
looked
yeah.
like?
He's a Furbolg man.
Okay, you're
That
no help either.
helps.
Yeah, we totally passed him on like the side of the road. I actually bumped shoulders
Yeah,
with him.
maybe. Yeah, absolutely.
Wait, I remember that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was one of the guys I was thinking about eating.
Oh,
Oh, I just
Why
thought
do
he
you
was
want to
gonna.
eat people?
You call them people.
Hold on.
No.
But I hope you can understand the hesitation.
That was a really good timing, Marcus. He did the bruh
Oh.
sound effect.
That's nice. But I hope you don't mind the hesitation. You were gone for quite a bit of time, and people kind of picked up wherever they left off.
Well, I mean, yeah, I probably assumed I was dead if I were gone that long. If, wait.
Yes.
Is that my piece? Also. 2 minutes.
Did I hear 2
What on
minutes?
earth is going on?
Yeah, I have no idea.
You not hear me well?
You're like whispering. Did you say 2
Hold on.
minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
By 2 minutes, I mean 2 seconds.
Okay. So about my hatred for Dead by Daylight.
Oh
No.
You're right. That would be take way
no!
longer than 2 minutes.
No!
I'm
Okay.
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 We're good.
I just needed to get a drink.
Okay. You are all
Where-
good.
Where were we?
Are we good?
Did you ever
Yes.
did you ever think you'd hear a mic that sounded out of breath? Like not her. The mic sounds out of breath.
Fair enough. That's true.
What do you mean by that?
I'll send you a clip and you'll be able to tell.
Oh
Uh,
no.
But eventually, after like a long pause, with what he said about you being gone for a while and people going back to whatever they need to do,
Yes.
he kind of sighs and he goes, "And with what happened to Roop Nook,
I'm sorry, repeat that name for me.
Roop Nook,
Who?
That's what I thought I heard. Okay.
Root.
my brother,
Oh, I mean, I have an excuse. I don't know what you guys' excuses are.
For
We're
what?
forgetting
Not
that.
knowing a guy we haven't met?
that makes me feel better because I was saying it specifically to Lou, but
Well, Ronaine, I know Ronaine remembers. Good
Um,
old Ronaine, who's great with names.
you were kind of sitting each on Tiptoe's sides, and he's kind of looking to you. Tiptoe is, and over his head you see Ronaine, who is chowing down on some noodles of some form, and he immediately starts to shake his head like very briskly, like nope, not don't, and then as Tiptoe kind of turns over, you see very this conniving fashion, Ronaine immediately like begin to grin, nod to Tiptoe, and as soon as he turns his head to look at you again, Ronaine immediately goes back to shaking it like I have no clue what it is.
Shit.
What?
I said that little piece of shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because as you can tell, Ronaine does not necessarily remember much about anybody. He said, hopefully one day he'll recover, but until that time, I'm kind of trying to fill in for him at mom and dad's shop.
Well, what happened to him exactly?
Well, he won't tell us details, but he said he was attacked by a goblin arcanist or alchemist. He's severely burned and wounded on one side.
I mean, he'll recover though, right?
I think it depends. I mean, the kind of magic required to restore him is expensive, and while we do make money, it's quite a task to get someone down here that can do anything.
I'm just
We
gonna
have the
I'm gonna side eye the two healers we have with us.
What kind of healing do you think?
well, I mean, more than just restoring health or blood. I mean, his wounds are more than just scrapes and easily patched. He needs some form of greater restoration.
Smooth.
I mean, the thing is that it's very aptly named. So
No, I meant it. That was kind of smooth.
Okay, thank you.
Sarah, is that the
It was
first,
also kind of funny.
is that the
It is
first
kind of
thing
funny.
you've said the entire session?
Hey guys, I know we just loaded into this trial, but I feel like we're gonna be dead by daylight.
oh my god.
Also, Chase, I didn't know your voice could raise that many octaves.
Oh my god.
Octaves.
Oh god.
What if we raised the money for your brother's magical recovery?
Lou, you can barely afford dinner.
We are literally talking
Hey.
about getting jobs for ourselves.
I mean, how much
Not-
is it? Like 100, like 200 gold?
Let me check.
The gnome pulls out a calculator real quick.
Yeah.
A
Well,
lot.
it's-
His Nalcunator.
It would be a few instances that he would have to go through. I mean, partially to restore limbs or fingers or missing things such as that. The other to remove the scars and burns. Looking at, I don't know, 300 gold.
I think us strapping young adventurers, we could
Young?
probably.
I-
Yeah?
Aren't you in your 20s?
Yeah,
Mm.
that's.
I'm-
Layla, that's not even a tenth of my lifespan.
Oh, so now you're racist?
No, that is not.
That's not
Malad-
cool, man.
Maladin looks over at the mention,
Yeah.
raises his head from eating
Hey.
his food.
That, I just mean to say, we're
Puts on a
all
red hat.
in our primes here. We can do a lot of labor-intensive jobs. Maybe we bring back that goblin's head. That'll fetch a nice price, right? Head of an evil sorcerer, alchemist, something.
I just want to look to Layla and
Those
ask, like, how
cells.
how do you feel about being called young and strapping?
Yeah, don't do that ever again.
What? Oh, I'm so sorry, Miss 300 years old, Miss elderly
dead by then.
lady.
I'll be dead.
No, you won't.
I
mean,
will.
maybe Layla's
No.
taking offense. Some people take pride within being of older age. There's some wisdom and other things to be passed down with time.
Yeah, Layla,
Tiptoe,
take,
I'm so
take pride
sorry.
in
You
your
might
age.
not know. Layla's like a teenage. She's like
the old-
18.
She's the oldest elf I've ever seen.
She's
Look
8.
at-
I'm older than her.
Look
Nuh-uh.
at the streaks across her cheeks and the
Yeah,
the
look at 'em.
divots
Mm-hmm.
I feel like she added those there magically,
those-
like just now.
and those
Nuh-uh.
eye bags.
Yeah,
you don't
they're
get that just from one night of
Look at
untamed
Ronaine.
rest.
He's like 20 something.
and,
He's
and
got
her, s-
eye bags for days.
and look at her split ends and
Ronaine literally has gray hair.
I met a
White,
ghost.
white hair. He's like an
Yeah.
old man, but he's like
But
a few months older than me.
has he met a ghost?
Ronaine, have you met a ghost?
Every time I look in the mirror.
Can I just enjoy my noodles?
No.
Well, I've met a ghost, so I'm the oldest one here.
Is that saying you're closest to death?
I probably am closest to death also.
When did you meet a ghost?
I told you about this.
She did tell us
I
about this.
forgot. I do that
Oh.
a lot.
No, when we were at the spider thing.
Oh, you mean
yeah.
when we like mercilessly murdered those spiders, right?
Yeah, I'm
And
kind
we
of
said
over
we'd
it,
talk
honestly.
about that later, and that's another later.
Yeah, there was a ghost outside. He was really cool though.
Okay.
You mean when we murdered the children and the women too? I
We-
reversed the line, but it's
They
fine.
were spiders, not people.
That's what you think.
Okay, so hold
Give a
on.
long,
Hold on.
suffering look at Tiptoe.
So I look around and I see cows, yet I get told, oh, they're people.
They're not cows. They're furbolgs.
Sure. So we're
They
the
look
spiders.
a lot different. The spiders could not talk to me.
They talked to me.
You are weird. You talk to
Okay,
animals.
so now you're racist squared?
That is not what I'm
And you're
saying.
ageist, by the way.
Go ahead,
I'm
Lou.
gonna-
Say age is
Lou's-
just a number.
Lou's gonna take Ronane's noodles and start eating.
What the hell? But yeah, if you think you could, I mean, the money is one thing. I think we could eventually get that. It's just finding someone able to cast it and to help him for an extended period of time.
Well, we could split our focus then. Layla, who's an old woman who can't do any backbreaking work, could find someone to cure you, and the rest of us,
Wait a second.
who are young and capable of hard physical labor,
Wait.
yeah.
Do you think that dupe person, the twin, the fake twin, the cleric lady, church leader person, has anything to do with the person who stole your piece of paper?
Whoa, back up.
I'll slide
You
my
mean-
chair back.
Oh. You think the strange... Oh, Tiptoe, do you know a strange shape-shifting lady? Maybe man, I don't know.
No.
Alright, there was a weird shapeshifter.
There were
Who knew a
there was
lot about you,
couple
didn't they?
times I used to see Gruffid do something, and then I would say like, "Hey, did you eat that rat?" Or "Hey, did you set up the sandbag that hit Ronan in the face?" And he would always say it
You what?
wasn't him.
I-
Gruffid.
Look at Renee. Sandbag?
Listen, I know it was a little lizard. I don't think that counts.
Well, you let a sandbag punch you in the face, but not me.
Frankly, I think the lizard is just a compulsive liar, but
Yeah. I don't know if that's connected.
It
No.
Thank
definitely
you
is.
for the insight.
Remember every time in the past when you're like, "Hey, Layla, you're being stupid," and then I'm right?
I don't think Gruffid lying is the same thing as this shapeshifter.
No, that's different. But the shapeshifter and the paper thing definitely.
The
connected.
shapeshifter might be connected to the paper thing. I
What do
think
you mean
we
might?
need to
It
jot that.
definitely is.
Okay, it might
I'm
be.
right.
We'll say with a Layla amount of certainty.
Okay, I've never been wrong before, ever in my life. So write that
And if
down.
you continue to never be wrong, then we'll be right about it.
I'm
And
gonna
if we're
hit
not,
you.
then
I'm going to hit you.
okay, do it. I'm right here.
I'm gonna hit him.
Okay.
Do it, you
to
won't.
answer your question, no, I don't think so.
Wait, what's your
Well,
AC?
What's your
That's
AC?
okay. 16.
That low?
19,
Yes.
baby. You're getting hit.
Okay, it's gonna feel like a marshmallow, like a pillow.
You still take a damage.
If there was
A
any
single
time,
point of damage.
if there was
Yep.
any time for you to roll a nat
Alright.
20, now was it.
And then he'd take a whole 2 damage.
Ace, when did you send that GIF?
Oh, when you gave his name, or like
Oh,
his brother's name.
oh, yeah, I made the connection now.
It was a while ago.
Group note.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, I know what you were going for. But yeah, he says, well, if you want to help out, how are we gonna do that? I mean, closest thing to a healer we have in town is an alchemist of our own.
Well,
We would need like a cleric or
it just so happened. Oh, but we could find a cleric. Surely some. What if we went to Treville and got a cleric?
well, that's possible, yeah.
There've got to be clerics there, right? And we just bring the cleric here and pay them with the money that we earned in town here. We
I mean,
only
that's
need 300 gold.
possible,
That's
yes.
reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, with your adventuring and everything, did you not meet any clerics or anything by chance?
You mean like that person who ran the church who wasn't the evil twin?
Well, I don't. Would the church leader be useful in this?
Why not?
From the
Correct.
Desecrated Acres?
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is Pugnat not a cleric?
Pugnat
is, but
isn't a
he's-
strong enough cleric.
He is not a strong enough cleric.
Pugnat is a cleric in training.
Yeah, because Greater Restoration is a 5th level spell. I'm trying to remember what Lesser Restoration is.
I have
Cleric
lesser.
diminutive.
I think that's a level 3. I don't know if it would be applicable though. I have to read.
It's
So
Would
not.
the church leader be good
It's
enough
level 2.
to?
Yeah, since that's ending a condition, I'm kind of reading Greater Restoration as more of a quantifiable heal of ailment, because it mentions like bringing ability scores back. and stuff like
Regenerate
that,
also brings
versus
back body parts.
regenerate.
Also
Also,
7th level.
so we can actually get
Oh, fair enough.
Ronane's arm back.
Yes. Or
First
we
we
could do
get-
that with like
Maybe.
First we
removal
gotta-
of the curse.
First, we gotta cut off that arm, and
Oh.
then give him a new one.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but then he wouldn't have his cool arm powers.
How do I say this without any questions being thrown my way? Cutting it off isn't going to work.
Why not?
Oh,
Oh. Metal.
what happens when you cut it off?
The same
It
thing
raises
that-
a knife.
The same thing that happens when it returns.
How far? Wait, Ronan, be so honest with me. Did it used to be lower down on your arm, and you cut up higher up on your arm, and it grew back higher up on your arm?
No, it
We're t-
grows back in the same spot. I
We're-
don't.
We're looking at
understand
him,
how
and it's
this
like he's
conversation
offset
has-
now.
If you cut off half of your body, would it regrow as a corpse body?
Do I look like a no? It's only the arm.
You're saying we can't make cool upgraded lit Ronan.
Okay, listen. I've never gone. My left arm is pretty fucked. Let me cut off my right pinky toe. See if that restores it.
Okay, but so you haven't, so you don't know.
Can we get back to Ripnik or whatever his name was?
It
please?
sounds like some experimentation needs to be tried.
I
think
highly
so.
doubt that that's the case.
Getting back to Rupnuk. For now.
Thank gods.
He's just staring at us expectingly.
It's just, I'm trying to think.
Well,
Would anyone like to roll like a history check?
yes, I'm really good at that one.
History for what?
Just a general, more like a recall knowledge, so to speak. Ah, lovely.
Lou's really good at.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Fair enough. I know nothing about this
Fair
world.
enough, indeed. Yep. Other than the cleric and desecrated, none necessarily come to mind.
Maladin.
Yes.
But the other rolls aren't shown.
I got a 9.
Everyone tried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Lou at the lowest
Well,
with a 3, Layla at the
yeah.
highest with an 11.
Nice. I'm
We're-
girl winning.
We're shooting for the
You are
moon
girl
here.
winning. Poor boy losing.
But
Well,
yeah, you guys.
Oh,
cannot
look, a
recall
girl winning
anything.
and a girl losing. Who would have thought?
Yeah, Maladin.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
a 3. What do you want?
You kiss boys. Leave me be.
So are we going to help Tiptoe or just kind of leave things kind of lost here?
All right. We can either go to the Desecrated Acres and see if the lady at the church can heal your brother, or we can go to Trevel, find a cleric to heal your brother.
Well, I mean, I guess that's up to you guys. The only thing I can really say about the lady at the church and the Desecrated Acres is she doesn't really leave.
Ah,
She
and I'm
seemed
guessing your
very
brother isn't really in the
stingy.
guessing your brother isn't really in the type of condition to travel much.
I can get her out.
Well, he's more or less an intensive care situation.
Okay, Trevel is closer too, right?
Yeah, if you can get through the woods.
So what if we knock out a few birds with one stone?
Why?
We can.
What did the
It's
birds
a
ever
turn
do
of
to you?
phrase. It is a turn of phrase. It's like when I take this handy bow here, and I shoot. Okay, 2 goblins with 1 arrow.
Why not a halberd?
You shut your filthy mouth.
Oh, do they not know about the halberds, Lou?
Oh, what about the halberds?
Would depend. I mean, if you're holding the halberd, you're not the best.
This has been a thing for how long?
Well, to be
Well,
precise.
you started the guild around.
Oh boy. Listen, my proficiency or lack thereof with a halberd is not what we are discussing right now.
It's no or. It is.
It's not.
I can see Lou just hating us all.
Possible.
Lou is thinking of a way to dispose of all of you right
Well,
now. Talk about
halberd is off
7
the checklist.
7 birds with 1 arrow.
I mean, remember what happened last time you fought Mallet, and that's a
I'm
long
going to-
span.
Yeah. You remember the last time you kissed Lou? Shut up.
Wait, you say that like it was consensual. There was no consensual. There was no like you kissed. No. I was kissed. There's a difference.
I was dying and you had air. Let's
You're
not
right.
let's
Lou-
not twist it up.
Lou was the man in the situation. Anyways. I think we go to Trevel. We go through the forest. We see if we can find
Dramatic pause for effect.
Brygotch,
Who?
my old mage friend.
Ah.
Then we continue on to Treville, and we see if we can find Elber. Yeah, I'm getting better at this. And then we also
Renee's just holding up flashcards.
yeah,
Yes, that's what I have in my head.
Lou looks to Renee
Oh.
confirmation. Renee gives him the thumbs up.
He starts saying
That
it.
are more or less like hot and cold, but non-verbal.
Yeah,
Where you'll start the statement, and like he'll start nodding, and if you go in the wrong direction, he
Start shaking the head.
shaking it
Yeah.
the other way,
right, but I mean, rice, snot. Oh, yeah, and we also find, I mean, surely Elber might know, someone, some sort of cleric, and then step 3, profit.
yeah.
Step 3, get the cleric back, heal your brother. He takes over the family business. You do whatever you want, honestly. I'm not here to convince you one way or the other. But I am here to help your brother.
Okay. That would be nice, yeah. And then I'll think about if I can, leave the business and come back.
Sounds like a plan. First step is we need to make money.
We?
We.
The strapping ones.
Yeah, the strapping
Oh.
ones. You can play music in the town hall where nobody ever plays music.
Flashback to the tavern we were staying at. That bard hasn't been back in so long. I've kept their room open and everything.
Oh no.
I haven't rented this room out for months.
Yes,
There's like a corner filled with like random storages and everything else that Layla hasn't paid for.
Those blanks were for us to insert what he was saying in our minds.
Yeah.
Got it. I said stews and porridges that Layla has not collected.
I don't
for
think
months.
either of those came through.
Nope.
Probably not.
Perfectly timed.
Anyways,
So Layla will play music. Maladin and I can work at the docks, and Ronaine can do something that you can do with one hand.
Juggle.
Juggle.
Renee, you can come with me if you want to. It'll probably be pretty quiet.
right.
It'll be pretty quiet when I'm going to play music.
As
Yeah.
in, you won't be bothered by anyone.
Well, the thing is, like,
We'll
if
never
we,
bother him.
I mean, we could just like, I don't know, the Tiptoe. Is there like a bounty board, something like that? And Tiptoe kind of shakes his head a little bit. And he's like, no, but there's a couple of people in town that are always asking for aid. And I don't think anyone wants to go into the quarry.
True.
But I mean, there's people down there that need help with monsters and stuff. The alchemist hopes to eventually get people to help him gather material for potions. Other than that, I don't know of necessarily any low-level things like clearing out rats or anything, but I'm sure you could ask around.
I mean, that's a great start. We can start fighting monsters in the quarry, then gather some materials. Sounds profitable.
I don't know. I'm kind of so with the music idea.
You can do your music.
No, that
As
you
we
guys are gonna
battle.
out me.
I mean, yeah. Well, how about we do monster hunting during the day and a roadside show at night.
That's what you've been reduced to.
Yeah, I'm not
Roach.
doing that.
Okay, but you
roadside
get to
show.
perform and we will dance.
No,
No.
we would.
Juggle.
I would prefer if you didn't.
What if I do trick archery where I shoot an apple off of Maladin's
Ronaine's.
head?
Ronayne.
Blue, it kind of sounds like
Maladin's head.
you should show off.
I mean, it's very, very entertaining, you know?
Okay, well, you
Um,
can do that. I'm gonna perform somewhere reputable and not the side of the road.
Okay. We'll all perform somewhere reputable.
Okay.
Are you guys going to help out the quarry?
Yeah.
I like how you
Okay.
asked us in the voice.
Well, yeah, because he had.
I couldn't
Just
tell if
other
that was
things to say.
DM
Why? You wanna come
accidentally
with
dipping
me?
into the voice, or if that was in character asking.
Yeah, that was in character asking like what you guys would be up to.
You're welcome to come with us if you want.
I mean, fighting was never my strong suit.
It's not half this party's strong suit, I assure you.
Well, I have practice to do in the meantime.
All right,
Um,
we will come find you when we're done slaying all the monsters in the quarry,
You know, having all the fun.
Okay.
having all the
Um,
fun, getting all the glory.
Well, the only thing I wanted to mention was if you do end up trying to help the alchemist with um his bounties in the forest, that it's kind of like a customary thing, but it doesn't really extend out of here, but there are golden weasels in the forest that people kind of use as a greater currency. Their pelts are very well sought after.
I'm glad.
So you're saying if we find those pelts, we can rack in big cash.
Well, you could use them in Scabble Grain for any items or any trades that you may need.
All right,
But-
yeah.
But I do think the quarry would be the best for maybe gaining a gold amount now.
All right, we'll head for the quarry first, then see what we can do about the alchemist.
Okay.
If we haven't reached our, we're a little strapped on cash, anyways.
Sounds good. Let's see. Is that the consensus of the party?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, luckily, since you guys are on the northeastern side of Scabble Green, kind of like more northern, but let alone over there, you do see it's kind of cut off on this map. You can see like pixels of it. Eventually, it turns into almost this craggy mountain at the very tip top of this continent, and it extends further over into basically that tree line that's all the way at the north. But the closer you get to the quarry, the less gnomes you see, and the more kobolds and dwarves that seem to have their own little habitat and everything else. The dwarves and kobolds you see, the kobolds are kind of more squalid looking, and wearing basic rags with maybe a pickaxe in one hand and a lantern, both of which have been heavily used and gnawed upon. Most of the dwarves coming out do seem to have materials in hand, or in this case, in a sack on their backs. And as you slowly but surely get closer, you're eventually at the entrance of this. And you see a couple dwarves that are kind of keeping guard there.
Layla, you
Yeah.
are the one that's good at negotiating.
I am.
So, as the negotiations expert here, I say you negotiate for us a fair price for our work.
Okay. What are we? We're just gonna go down there and hit some rocks. What's your plan?
What? No, we're going down there to fight monsters.
All right. Let me crack my knuckles real quick.
You got this.
Gonna fluff up my hair a little bit. We're
I
gonna
have the tiger.
going. Eye of the tiger. I'm going in.
Eye of the beholder.
No.
Sure.
Ominous expression.
As you approach, you see two dwarves, as mentioned earlier, that while they are defending, they both look like miners themselves. The only thing that kind of separates them is maybe a couple of rough-made plates of armor on their shins and chest. One seems to have the pickaxe hilt in the ground and seems to be propping his arms up across the head of his pickaxe. The other one seems to be leaned back on a chair, almost like teachers tell you not to do in school, with his back up against.
Always did it. Always.
I know, yeah. But just you guys understand the pose
Yes.
saying here.
The pose of
They seem to
dominance.
be telling stories back and forth, and one of them's like, "Yes, I found a rather big mine of diamonds," and the other looks at him and says, "Really? How big were the diamonds?" And he goes, "At least
Holds up his hands.
32 pounds worth of diamonds." The other kind of scoffs and goes, "Yeah, right. Barely found half a brick of gold the other day," but they seem to be almost shit talking during their break. It feels like, or
Oh.
during the boring part of their day.
Excellent. Very important distinction. Are they on break or are they on duty?
They are on duty.
Okay. All right.
So this is more like a work conversation, I should.
Oh, I have to make a side note really quickly.
Uh-huh.
I went to Barnes and Noble today and I asked for help from one of the workers and she seemed kind of like, all right, yeah, I can, like, hesitant to help. Not
Uh-huh.
unfriendly, but hesitant. I couldn't figure it out. And it turns out Girly was walking towards the back to clock out and she still took the
Oh,
no complaints. Anyway, I love her. I hope she's having a fantastic day. And I did not know. I did apologize as soon as I found out.
Why did another coworker come up and it's like, aren't you supposed to be clocked out by now?
No, I think someone said something to her earpiece because as she was helping me out, she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna help this customer, and then I'm clocking out."
So yes,
makes
you just
sense.
didn't hear the
Yeah.
aren't you supposed to be clocked out portion of that.
Oh yeah. Anyway, I love you, Queen. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Now back
sure
to these
she's
guys who
watching.
are not clocking out.
Yes.
Yeah, I will approach them and see if they give a break in their conversation.
As you guys approach, the one on the left kind of looks forward and says, "Well, that's a weird looking set of spelunkers." And the other goes, "Yes, look at this one. I'm sure they'll get a hefty load out of the mine today." And he kind of throws his hand trying to pat the other one on the knee, but they share a chuckle.
Hi, I'm Layla. It's nice to meet you both.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm just wondering who is in charge around here?
That'd be me.
Not the
Oh,
can I
excellent.
talk to your manager?
Just wondering, are you guys hiring for today?
Sure.
Excellent. Let's negotiate a fair wage.
Okay.
What can you offer me?
what can your company offer me?
I love this job interview, yeah. Not what can I
You
offer
see-
you? What can you
See
offer
the
me?
one on the right, as this conversation is kind of going through, leans and sets the chair proper before he looks at you and says, "Excuse me, just 1 second." And he turns to the other one and he's like, "What are you doing?" And he says that a little bit louder than he means to, but then the two of them begin to kind of bicker back and forth and whisper to one another.
Yeah, I'll wait. I
Okay.
won't stare directly at them. I'll like kick some dirt around or something.
I'll
Okay.
stare directly at them.
I'm kicking Lou in the shin.
I'll
Gotcha.
look
I'm
directly at
still
them.
staring at them. Yeah, Layla's like kicking dirt. Lou and Maladin are boring holes into their head.
Okay, I'm pushing these
Sure,
guys back.
absolutely.
They're not being helpful.
Lou, if you wouldn't mind making me a perception check,
Yes.
as you were kind of eavesdropping on their conversation.
That's a
Maladin,
22.
Are you paying any attention? What's Maladin up to? I forget.
He's just staring at them as well.
Okay, sure. You can roll perception as well.
Sure, I'll roll something trash.
That's the spirit.
Look at that, a nat 1.
Okay. You think they're starting to speak dwarvish underneath their breath and whispering back and forth. Lou, you hear them in common to each other. The one on the right talking to the left. He's
That's
like,
an ugly green guy. Are you sure?
he goes, "What are you doing? You don't own this place." And he looks to the other one and he says, "Well, no one really owns this. You just kind of go in and you work and then you sell your shit. I don't." He says, "Do they even look fit to help to Spelunk?" Like, "Oh no, but I mean, if they want to die in a collapse, I just hope they don't take anyone out with them." He goes, "That's the thing. They shouldn't. These are our friends, you jackass." And they continue to bicker back and forth, taking decent bit of for the if everyone still remains quiet, eventually the right one looks up and he says, "Listen, my friend here is a little stupid. He doesn't own the place and he has nothing to offer you, and frankly, I feel it would be safe if any of you were down there."
Yeah, okay. So who does own the place?
I don't think anyone owns it.
But we have I guess a taskmaster, so to speak.
Yes, perfect, actually. Where are they?
Well, Throdmeal is further down into the mine.
Okie dokie. I'll see you guys later.
He
Okay.
did
Are you
not
just walking right past them?
Oh,
did
yeah.
not even finish his
Okay.
sentence. Was just taking a breath in, and she's like, "I've heard all I need to."
Nope, that's fine. Absolutely. Yeah, you kind of walk past them and they kind of continue to stare at you while also like are still kind of have their hands out the last way they had them when they were conversing amongst each other. But yeah, you walk in, no issue.
I'll give him high fives as I pass.
The one on the left reaches out, but then the other one swats his hand away.
Funny
And
guy.
he says, "Stay professional." But yeah, the rest of you watch Layla begin to go deeper into the mines.
Lou does want to lean down to these guys. I did hear you had a monster problem in the mines. What was that about?
Who said that? No.
I mean,
Uh,
look at us. Do we look like miners?
No, you all look like adults.
Even me?
No.
Well, you're an elf. Hard to tell.
who said that?
A contact in town.
If, you know what? Maybe you all should go talk to Thronmeal.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I'll walk past, I'll walk in.
Okay. Maladin, as you are kind of sitting there with Pugnat, as Pugnat is following your lead, the two look to you and they say, "Well, if you're curious about who you're looking for, a Duergar with graying hair, kind of has long hair going into a long beard, wearing gold on his armor."
Okay. Appreciate it.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Glad you guys stopped talking in gnome. The short people are all the same.
Oh my god.
Elbow Mallet in the gut.
Nope, you're already in the mine.
Renee,
Is-
elbow him in the gut with your good arm.
Renee was following you. As you continue down, they kind of have a blank stare as you pass by. Pugnet says, Maladin, what does that mean?
Huh? Oh, nothing.
But, oh, okay.
It means you have to be this tall to understand.
No.
This is a joke. I get it. Okay. You guys eventually all begin heading down the mine. It's a good, I want to say, it's a descending 30-foot walk with a support beams, and every other post seems to have some form of light fixture, a lantern that is burning. And then as you get deeper and deeper, it goes quiet for a moment as the sounds behind you slowly reverberate off the walls until you cannot understand them anymore. And after a good, I'll say maybe 5 feet of silence, eventually you hear what sounds like bustling chit chat and loud folk back and forth, the tinking of pickaxes against rock, the rolling of mine carts, and the way before you is heavily lit. As you slowly but surely enter, you find yourselves in a cavern space that is about 50 foot tall and has multiple stacks of almost structural supports and everything, and various people walking around. You see that people don't necessarily have rooms or houses, but hot spaces and maybe similar to the stables that you guys kind of found out about in Lou's hut. Just little places to work, eat, maybe sit down for a little bit, sleep, and then go back into the. As you guys eventually enter the space and stand in the middle, you see about 3 stories up, there seems to be a larger kind of room that, from what you can tell, is furnished and very well decorated. And there seems to be a single dwarf with a megaphone in hand and a bell to his right hand side. Every once in a while, you get back and forth and speak gibberish that you. Oh, I didn't know if I cut out. Speak
A little
gibberish.
bit.
For the
Okay.
most part, you're fine.
Okay, cool. Speak what sounds like gibberish to you guys, but you assume is him calling certain people out from the mines, and they return to wherever they're sitting. And then you see them go to cot spaces that were inhabited, and the next call out he makes seems to call them out of those rooms. So it seems that there are shared rooms in this location as well. But yeah.
Does he have gold accents on his armor?
Matter of fact, he does. Yes.
And
Does-
long graying hair.
You didn't hear that part of the conversation. Hush you. Does he?
Maladin,
But
you
the question is good. Does he have long flowing gray
yes,
hair?
Yes, he does.
And a long gray beard?
Yes. And you see that compared to the other dwarves around him, except for what I would say is kind of like the minority in this area, his skin is gray, his eyes are glazed over. But yeah,
We're about to start talking to a corpse?
it almost feels that way, no. But you would relate his accents or his color tone closer to deep stone or rock.
It's a short people thing. I got it.
Oh my god.
Malladin, you have to stop doing that.
What? What do you mean?
You're
Of course,
being a little
someone's gonna get
racist.
offended.
Short people are not a race, thank you very much. It just so happens that a few races are just inherently short.
You can't say that all short races are the same.
I mean,
Well, they're all short.
that.
That's where their similarities end.
I mean, I'm pointing out the main one though.
They all can't reach the top shelf.
That.
They're very.
That's coming from like a 5'4" elf. Okay.
Hey,
She
watch
also
it.
can't reach the top shelf. See, it's
Just
fine.
like we can't say stuff like that.
And why not?
Just like I can't say that all green people are the same.
I mean, I feel like I share a few similarities with some goblins.
I
Well,
can.
You're the exception, not the rule, Malady.
Hey,
Yeah,
you don't know
other
that. You've
green
never met
people-
another Githyanki.
Other green people bathe regularly.
Hey, are you assuming things about all Githyanki, Lou? Just because you met one?
I'm specifically saying he's the weird one.
Don't talk to me
That's
about
nice.
bathing, by the way, Mister. I have a
Hey, I'm
bird
not
in
a
my
good
hair.
example either. I'm a great example of how not all elves are the same.
So
Huh?
to have
No.
this conversation, you guys are kind of having to shout a lot of machinery noises, just to put it in perspective. But after about 35 seconds to 40 seconds of ringing this bell and shouting loudly, eventually the ringing in your ears and out loud slowly begins to stop. And you see this gentleman go back within this large room he has, his large accommodation.
Okay, we're gonna talk to him eventually. But back to the point. I don't see a problem right now.
Let's just
Listen,
find a way.
The quest is there. I'm aware. Close the notification. I have a conversation.
Listen, I don't hear Pugnet complaining. I'm actually. Hush,
Yeah.
Pugnet. I'm talking right now.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to be this tall to contribute to the conversation.
Okay, that's not nice.
Lou's gonna like lean down to Pugnat's level.
And see, you have to lean down. Is that not patronizing? I'm just saying.
Yeah,
No,
don't do-
it's not.
Lou, don't do that.
That's
What
hey, listen.
are we doing
Look,
here?
Pugnat
stand
doesn't
up.
care. Pugnat,
Lou,
you don't
stand
care,
up.
right?
Kicking him.
He hasn't been right since we went to Northern Weathermount.
Anyways,
I'm
it seems
freaking out, man.
Pugnet just has his hands over his ears. Mom and
Yeah.
Dad are fighting.
I cast Sacred Flame on myself.
I really love how Lou and Maladin are like doing everything wrong in both in opposite directions.
This
No,
is
what?
like an episode of Shameless and Pugnet. No, I'm joking.
And Pugnat. And Ascendant.
Pugnet
man.
and the party.
Yeah.
Alright. Is there a way up?
Yes.
I mean, you can stand on
So
my
you see-
shoulders. Probably not Pugnet's, but
So
I'm
you
going-
see multiple makeshift staircases or ladders, your pick, of the various levels. You also see a industrial pulley system that is currently being used to lift minecarts or descend minecarts to different levels. Where you see on this base that you're in, there's a large 20 by 20 area ahead of you that's dwarves walking back and forth. And then about on the 15-foot outer rim of this, you see large piles of different materials and some of the crappy rocks that have been dug up with the rest of their bounties. That the minecarts are lowered and put onto rails and kind of pulled wherever to whatever stack of materials they seem to have in the minecart, dumped, and then before very systematically taking whether the same shaft or a different pulled to wherever they're needed.
I mean, yeah, we're for sure gonna take the stairs, I think. As cool as the pulley system seems, I feel like we'll get faster.
Okay. So as you guys kind of choose a staircase, they seem to all kind of have this dilapidation. They seem very function over form. Some of them have loose nails or a creaking side banister. Definitely would not pass any ocean whatsoever.
Dog, it's
Uh,
fascinating to me how much your mic cuts out,
I know.
and we
I don't
still
even-
lose almost like no information. Like
I
it,
feel like it's got to be tabletop or something. I have no earthly idea.
it happened to no other scenario, but I love that it's like you start saying something, it's a break, and then you continue, and it's like, oh, the mic literally just like time stopped, it like just stopped him for a full
Yeah.
5 seconds and kept the sentence going.
It's got to be the. I might actually tinker with the Discord channel as well because I can change the frequency at which it is broadcasting or like taking and receiving information.
That'd
But
probably
it
work.
is crazy how for any other game. I think it's just because I talk so much for this. But who knows?
Tabletop
Anyway.
says, "Shut up, shut up,
Yeah.
DM. Your info isn't needed."
Yeah, but as you guys seem to kind of make your way up the stairs, you do still have like the dwarves heading up and down. They're just like, "Excuse me, on your way. Get out of my way." Just, typical NPC get out of my dialogue. Why? Is it cut out?
Hey, I'm walking here.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the dwarven New York City, where you even have some that are just like, "Fucking idiot," just as you're passing by. Um, but eventually, you kind of make your way to the third floor. You see that this dwarf that was speaking is sitting in a very dark room. You see that, like, while the banister that he kind of spoke on and has the bells on is very bright, you see that the room he is in is very, very dark. I don't know if it cut out, but I said
It did.
very, very dark. Great. Lovely. But yeah, you see a couple of ramshackle doors that you guys can kind of walk into his room and
Oh,
talk
yeah.
to him.
We will knock on the doors before entering.
Just hear almost in the same broadcasting voice he did previously, just like, "Come on in."
All right, we'll go
It
in.
opens door,
Okay.
yeah.
You see
We-
that as you all enter the room, and I don't know if you guys are being uh, laissez-faire, very professional, or what have you, but he doesn't seem to care no matter what you do, as he is sitting there kind of writing down things and looking at papers, and very busily picking up a piece of paper, reading over it, writing in a couple spots before checking it off. And then you see he'll go to the next page and continue to do the same thing. And at the slightest inclination that his pen is not writing properly, you see he just like throws a feather into a garbage bin, and then has like a bird on his desk that he quickly plucks a new feather.
The trash bin is filled to the brim with feathers.
It is indeed. You see that this bird almost looks like it's malt. It is very unhappy, but at the same time, it seems to be taking a nap, and every once in a while cawing as he pulls out a new feather. He says, "What's this about?"
We've heard you have a bit of a monster problem.
Well, if it's true, where are you from?
Kind of everywhere, to be honest.
Somewhere where this would not matter. It will not get out to anyone.
Right. Listen, I've talked to several of you paladins. I've
Oh,
told
no,
you
we're
all.
not
Now, what?
there is
Wait, wait,
no
wait,
issue.
wait! Don't insult
mines.
us,
We are
Maladin.
staunchly
Maladin has a very limited.
anti-paladin.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong.
Did you say paladin or Maladin? Either way, I agree, but
He said paladin.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say
No, they
Maladin.
call all following the game of all Githyanki.
I love the amount that he's getting cut out right now.
I hate it. It's because I was adjusting in my chair. Son of a bitch.
Every male paladin is a Maladin.
Yep, exactly.
Here's the dealio. Here's the sitch. We, group of adventurers from everywhere, not paladins, not affiliated with anyone except for like maybe my dad, I guess. But we did hear there's a monster problem. You probably need less monsters, and we kind of need money. So we could handle this, be in and out, nobody knows.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do this multiple ways. Maladin, if you could roll me intimidation, and if Layla could roll me a persuasion.
That's wild.
Excuse me. Sorry.
27.
Oh, not that bad. 17. I got a -1 in that category too. That's fun.
He kind of goes wide-eyed for a minute, and looks up at you all. You can kind of tell that even with his eyes being glazed over, you can tell that darker part of his pupil that seems to be focusing on each of you.
He's going
says-
cross-eyed right now. He's looking at Layla with one, me with the other, and we're just whispering, "Who's he actually looking at?"
Bro was
Maybe
upset.
so. He said, "Wait, you're not paladins?"
Nuh-uh.
We look like paladins.
Fuck
Just-
no.
Lou points at me. Rude.
No, Lou points at himself.
I mean,
Listen, you talk too pretty to be down here. You got to the point. And he's pointing at Maladin.
oh, cool.
And he says, "Tell me, what is this about?" And I don't know what accent he has currently. I don't know why, but I can't find it again.
I mean,
Been
I'll
there.
just make him more and more Texan, honestly.
well, in short, we showed up to Skevelgrain. We need to do stuff. We've spent a lot of money. We need money. And we heard you had a monster problem. And that's pretty much it. We want money. And we're willing to do jobs.
We've killed a dragon before, so those are our.
You
requirements.
shh. He does not need a resume.
It helps.
All of you have
Until
got
we
to
have
be the
proof.
biggest shit talkers, or your words have some merit.
Lou's gonna pull out his sick, like, dragon claw. I think dragon claw. Tooth or claw? From
Hmm.
his pocket.
It was a small dragon, I see.
Nah, he doesn't need to
True.
know that. It
I-
just
I
got
would
regular
say-
manuscripts.
It's almost the same size as, like, I would say, like an alligator. Like an alligator tooth. And he looks it over, and he looks at you, Maladin, and he says, "I have 3 different mine shafts that are being attacked by various creatures. It's costing a lot of resources.
Point.
What do
We'll
you
go.
wager?" Well, this is a, and he kind of gestures with his hand. He's put the pen down, but he kind of goes, "Well, this is an arrangement, so we kind of have to talk about it. What are you wanting for this?"
We are we're doing this partially for some charitable causes. We're trying to heal a sick man.
Which one?
Treatment's expensive.
Is that the DM asking, or
What?
is that the guy
The
asking?
No,
DM.
that's the guy asking.
Okay.
It's like,
That was a
which
fast.
One?
Which one?
This better not be attached to workers' compensation.
No,
you know
Feel
what?
The issue.
He's
He's got
he
a
does
point.
not work here. He's oh, what was his name? A brother of a friend of mine. Ooh, he had a name. It's on
Wow,
the tip of my
you're
tongue.
getting nowhere fast.
Is he in the union?
No,
I don't
He's
want him.
looking
He's
at you,
not-
Maladin.
he works for his parents. Doesn't matter.
Family business.
He works for his family business, and he can't do that right now because he got attacked by a wizard or sorcerer or something in the woods.
Hmm.
An evil wizard.
Well, that sounds like not my problem. He's not down
Anyways.
here.
Well, the good news is that doesn't sound like my problem.
It's not. But we are asking for 100 gold per mine shaft. We totally clear out, totally 100% monster free, guaranteed.
Deal.
All right. Feel like I should have aimed a little higher.
Well.
honestly. Now that I'm thinking about it,
You remember
that was
that
too easy.
to negotiate, and then you just forgot about that and opened your mouth.
Well, hey, we got what we needed,
I just want you to remember that.
and extra 100 for hush money. We never talk about this. No one
Okay.
ever knows.
I just want you to remember that. I'm gonna talk.
If there's no problem, there's nothing to talk about anyway. You
He's ma-
see, I'm not gonna do it because I'm sure Haley is getting ready for work, and I don't want to piss off our neighbors. But kind of at the top of his, he screams, "Raytath!" And you see, just basically a random mining dwarf walk in. He's a little bit on the bigger side. He has a belly, and it shows. And he goes, "Yes." And says, "So these business folk mine shaft 15, 23, and 4." He goes, "Yes." And then he begins to walk out the door.
I guess
We'll
that
follow
means
him.
follow. Yeah.
Sounds good. So you guys kind of follow him. And I got to, where is that document? Hold on, it didn't save. Sure, I can find it lickety split. Excuse me.
Lou kicking himself like I should have asked for 200 gold.
Looking
You
at
should
Renee.
have let me
looking at Renee and being
Okay,
like,
you might have. You don't know
so
what you would have said.
Hmm?
It worked, didn't it? We'll sell the monster parts later.
you mean like we
So
could
the
sell
monster parts, the alchemist.
like we could sell the dragon teeth?
No, that it's
It's a
nothing.
trophy.
It's a trophy for me. It reminds me that I killed a dragon in case I forget later.
a tiny baby dragon.
There's a big baby
I
dragon.
like that timeline. Lou forgets after this campaign's done. Has another set of amnesia, hits his head again.
Oh no.
Where did I get this alligator tooth?
No, it was a scale, by the way.
So okay. So I mean, I think it would still hold merit that it just looks like almost like if you took one hexagon off like a turtle's back.
Okay, it's
If-
shinier than a turtle.
I was
Oh,
killing
yeah.
turtles. No.
No.
You
I was
see-
throwing charging cords into the ocean and strangling them with it. Insert
you
Family
see-
Guy meme.
he's kind of walking and talk. It's not really. He's walking and he kind of has like a hunch stride kind of deal, where he's leaned back, but the size of his belt. He's
Dog,
What size of his belly?
It's getting worse. Oh, now he's gone full robot.
Bye, Zach.
Our DM is having
You might be in the
technical-
Matrix now. We'll
He-
always
he-
remember you.
There's no maybe. He is. Is he the one
Yeah.
though?
I don't know.
Okay, am I back? Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah, you're back.
Okay, so he's walking and he kind of has to hunch back because of the size of his gut. And it's more like a waddle, I'll say. But it's a very cheery waddle. When he gets to one mine shaft, he points down it. You see that the lanterns are unlit. And unlike, well, I guess roll me a perception check. I'm just going to let y'all know this is going to be a series of 3 perception checks.
That's a cool 9.
25.
Give me 1 second.
I was looking for a meme. You said perception check. 18, that's fine. What do your elf eyes see, Lou?
Sorry
They
about
see
that.
jack
Hey, Hayden,
shit.
stop by. So yeah, Lou, you see jack shit. You are correct. I will say, Layla and Maladin, you guys get to kind of look down this mine shaft, and as I said, the lanterns are unlit and everything. The sconces. One thing you do notice is, unlike the rest of the sconces that have fresh wick burn marks and ash in them and everything else, the sconces themselves look relatively clean, about 50 feet down. And there's not a whole lot else you can see. The sconces themselves seem clean, like they haven't been lit. They haven't been lit for a while, or they've been clean. What is the problem? It's pissing me off so much. I'm not even changing the inflection of.
Nope, it's just randomly cutting.
Okay.
It's entertaining to me because I have no idea what would be causing this, because we figured out it's not really a Discord issue. We figured out it's not really a mic
Yeah.
issue, because it doesn't happen in other
It's just
things.
choosing to be stupid.
It has to be tabletop doing something to it.
It's gotta be, because that's the only time it fucks up is when tabletop is
When tabletop is what?
What tabletop
open.
is?
I hate this. Session is
Well, if we
canceled.
don't-
We're never having D&D again now.
No, if we don't need tabletop right now, you could close tabletop for now.
Yeah, because I'm basically describing choose for basically what I prep for next session, so to speak.
Yeah. Next session, by the way, is Lou's birthday.
Sure, will he be alive?
I thought you said this was birthday.
No,
Lou-
next week is his birthday. His birthday's April 30th.
Lou got struck by a meteor on the way to session. Sorry,
Please
guys.
do not. Please let him have. Listen, it's not his birthday in game because it's like fall or winter.
That would be wild. Hey guys, it's my birthday. You guys watch as he bleeds out in the.
Yeah, I can't wait
Funny.
until his like in-game birthday when we get to like spring in game and he's like
Yeah.
bleeding out, dying from like trying to kill one of the god kings. He's like, "This was a really great birthday, you guys." Coughs up blood, dies.
One of your schmucks is like, "Oh, thank God we didn't buy candles." But yeah, so that's the only thing you can really tell from. Is funnily enough that the sconces.
It's still
sconces are
happening, which is
cleaned.
funny.
I noticed. It's stupid. The sconces are clean. Wait, hold on.
Man, I was gonna start slowing his speech just for this.
I just started imagining Lou's funeral. So instead
gonna
of
try this
multiple
for a
candles,
minute.
it's like a 2 and a 3, however old he is. Just using his birthday candles as morning.
Yeah.
He's gonna be 25 next.
A 2 and a 5 next to the cask.
But you
Oh
see that
my
the
gosh.
sconces are clean and that the walls seem to be less reinforced. They have cracks and various openings that are maybe an inch wide. One thing you can note is you do just, this is more of a Lou thing than a Maladin thing. You swear that you can hear someone with a pickaxe deeper down inside clanking away.
Okay, now I'm going to have to hold off for a second because
I'm-
I launched Dead by Daylight as a joke. Apparently, my encoding settings are too high that it's being overloaded and it was actually screwing with the FPS too. I don't know if that was messing with the audio in the slightest. It should have just
think
been
so.
messing with frames per second, but
Side note also, did you mean Layla and not Lou?
You are
Hearing.
correct. Yes, Layla was the one that made that.
Okay, making sure.
I'm sorry, my brain still thinks, oh, the ranger.
Lou's like, I can't see anything, but I hear everything.
Yeah,
That's
no.
big ol'
why?
ears.
I feel
What?
like I've done that before too, by accident.
Okay, so now I'm going to have to look at some settings because my encoder is overloading. What has changed? That's interesting. We're losing frames every once in a while for no real reason.
Huh.
Is it because I'm swapping back and forth between the be right back and then the scene? Is that what's happening? We shall find out later when I actually look into it. Everything's falling apart. Audio's not working. Frames aren't working.
Oh lord. If we need to, since it's kind of borking, I can give you guys a description and let you guys denote over the week, and then we can begin with me describing each one in further. Like we do it all on the side in the meantime, and then when we come back, we kind of go over everything. Am I sounding clearer now, by the way?
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
are.
Okay, I know what it was then.
Was
No.
it tabletop simulator?
No, I think it's the noise suppression powered by Crisp.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay, so here's
Thanks.
we've tried this before.
No. Okay, so what I did last time.
My point in case.
You're not gonna like this
Oh,
when
did
I
it just?
tell you.
Okay, I see. All right. Well, that sucks.
So yes, we are just going to explain it next time and then give the info
Sounds good.
off.
Yeah, because I'm having difficulty even talking about it.
It's
and
it's actively getting worse too, which is the wild
I know.
part.
Yep. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for sticking around. blah, blah, blah.
Hey, that's my thing.
I know.
Biggest thing.
We will start next time and describe it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, you heard the man. See you
And,
guys in the next one.
and remember,
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
furbolgs are friends, not food.
That's a
Good night.
lie.
Peace.